What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Dude Hine Show. And the Cincinnati Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. After an incredible 18-point comeback against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bengals came out victorious 27-24 to win the AFC Championship game, and they are going to play in Super Bowl 56. This does not even seem real. This seems too good to be true. After they won, and McPherson made the game-winning field goal, I was sitting in my chair, not talking to anybody, just in awe and speechless. It's just an incredible feeling that, we are finally going to a Super Bowl again. It's been, over 30 years since we've made it. I thought we were going to go to a Super Bowl, soon with Burrow as our quarterback, but I did not think it was going to be his very first full season starting. This is absolutely crazy. I'm still trying to just get over just this amazing win yesterday against the Kansas City Chiefs. Going to kind of be breaking down the AFC Championship game here. And this game was very, very, very similar to their first meeting on January 2nd when the Bengals came out victorious with a game-winning field goal as well. So when you watch this game against the Bengals and the Chiefs, early on it looked like the Chiefs, this could be a, long game for the Cincinnati Bengals. The Chiefs, scored, their first drive because the, drive prior, the Bengals had a 3-and-out. And, the Chiefs early on just looked like they could do anything they wanted. They scored their opening drive, made it 7-0. And then the Bengals, shortly after, were able to make a field goal from Evan McPherson for 32 yards out to make it 7-3. And then, there was some hope for Cincinnati there. And then, Kansas City's next drive or so, they had a bomb, 40, 50-yard reception by McCole Hardman to really set them up in great field possession. And Travis Kelce had a touchdown on that drive as well to make it 14-3. And then at that point, there's a chance because you have Joe Burrow as your quarterback, but it's going to be very difficult to come back from behind against a great team and a very difficult place to play like Arrowhead. And then, we don't score our next drive. And then Kansas City scores again. I mean, all of a sudden, it is 21-3. It is not looking good for Cincinnati at all. We're down 18 at that point. But then right before the half, the Bengals were scored with about 1 minute left. A 41-yard reception and touchdown made by Samaje Perine. I've been vocal about Samaje Perine. He should not be getting targets. I feel like those targets should be going to Chris Evans. But I feel like the saying, a blind squirrel, can find a nut, and, a broken clock is right 2 times a day. It's kind of this situation here with Perine. He was due to at least do something really good. He had a great play, a great catch and run there for 41 yards to make it 21-10. And then easily, I would say the biggest play of the game, the Chiefs had the ball back with a minute left, and they were going to get the ball to start the second half. And they're up at that point 21-10. And, they march right down the field, and there's about 4 or 5 seconds left, and they're at the goal line. And instead of kicking a field goal to pretty much make it be 24-10, Andy Reid is out of his mind and decides to go for it instead of kicking a field goal. They decided to be greedy, and this really cost them, and it was so amazing that it did. It cost them because, they go for it with a couple of seconds left instead of going for a field goal. They do not get a touchdown, and the play clock expires to 0 to end the half. There was a terrific tackle made by Eli Apple, stopping Tyreek Hill. And to me, at this moment, I really felt like the Bengals had some momentum. The start of the second half, going into the start of the second half, because, we just scored a minute or two before this great play by Eli Apple. It's 21-10. And you think of at that point, 21-10 at halftime. If you watched that game, nothing was going the Bengals' way at all. Everything was all Chiefs. Mahomes only had, I believe, 2 or 3 completions at halftime. He was playing great football. The Chiefs' defense was playing good. Kelce was playing great. Hill was playing great. Hardman was playing great. Everybody for Kansas City was playing very, very well. But the fact that they were still only up 11 was very surprising and very good, considering how good this Bengals team is. Only down 11 points, even though Kansas City is having their way with Cincinnati. And this stop, to start at the end of the first half, I really thought, it was going to give them a major boost. And as soon as this happened, I was telling somebody, this reminds me so much of the Jacksonville game on Thursday Night Football earlier this season. When you go back and watch that game, the Jaguars opted to go for it on 4th down. And, they did not get it. If they made that field goal, there possibly could have been a different outcome in that game between the Bengals and Cincinnati. Obviously Cincinnati, they pretty much shut out Jacksonville the second half, were able to come back from 20 points and come back and win this game against Jacksonville earlier in the season. This is very, very similar to this. With the Bengals coming back and beating Kansas City, this is pretty much the exact same game that we saw in Cincinnati on January 2nd when the Bengals came back down from 14 3 different times. That is insane. And the fact, in this game, we're able to come back from 18 down in this game. And then when you look at the, third quarter and fourth quarter and even overtime, our defense played freaking amazing. I mean, it really shut down Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs offense, just like it did the second half of our first meeting back on January 2nd. The Chiefs could not do anything at all. In the third quarter, McPherson made a field goal to make it 21-13. And then with 14 seconds left in the third quarter, Burrow found Chase for a touchdown. And then Trent Taylor had a reception on a 2-point conversion to tie it up at 21-21 start of the fourth quarter. Just like that, the Bengals are right back in it, and it's a whole new game tied up. And then in the fourth quarter, Evan McPherson made a 52-yard field goal to make it 24-21 Bengals with 6 minutes left. And as time expires in regulation, the Kansas City Chiefs were able to make a field goal that tied at 24-24 to go into overtime. And heading into overtime, obviously everybody remembers that Chiefs-Bills game just a week or so ago. Terrific game that was basically, whoever won the coin toss was going to win that game. And lots of fans probably thought this could possibly be the same scenario, that these teams have great offenses, and whoever has the ball first more than likely will score a touchdown and win the game. The Chiefs were able to receive the start of overtime, and our defense played amazing. The Chiefs' only drive on offense, their defense was fantastic. Mahomes only had the ball for about 15 seconds that drive until he threw an interception. And at that point, it really felt like the Bengals, were probably going to end up winning this game in the AFC Championship game. And then with 9:22 to go in overtime, a 31-yard field goal made by Evan McPherson gives the Bengals the victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, 27-24. The Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. This does not even seem real. I don't even have the words to comprehend my emotions right now. I said my last video I did, win or lose, I'm going to be shedding some tears after this Bengals game. I definitely shed some tears, but in a good way, not in a bad way. And I did say this whole week that Cincinnati was going to win this game. I thought they were going to win this game, but the thing that surprised me most about Cincinnati winning this game is how they did it. Just like how they, beat Kansas City the first time they played on January 2nd. They're down 14 points, 3 different occasions in that game, and still came back and won. I thought they were going to win that game, but it's how they came back and won these crucial games, the most important games of their lives and their pro football careers, and some of the biggest games that they've ever played in. And, it is amazing how great we are playing with the most pressure on. Nobody gave us a chance against the Chiefs. Nobody gave us a chance against the Titans. Nobody gave us a chance against the Raiders. We won all 3 of those games. And you start looking at it, Joe Burrow, in this game played fantastic. If you look at the stat sheet, you might not, be wowed by Joe Burrow's performance. When you actually look at the game and watch the game, he played fantastic. 23 of 38, 250 passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. This offensive line played really good. They have to get some credit. This offensive line played terrific. They only gave up 1 sack. Burrow, there was a few times he escaped out of some sacks, but still overall this offensive line played very, very well. Mixon had 88 rushing yards. When Mixon has 88 rushing yards or more, heading into this game, the Bengals were 5-0. Now they're 6-0. Mixon played really good, and I'm glad we were able to get some more usage out of him. We haven't really seen a normal Mixon like we have the past couple games. Jamar Chase, he had 8 yards at halftime. And it's crazy because we were only down 11 with Chase having 8 yards at halftime. T. Higgins was great. He had 103 yards. Chase had 54 yards and 1 touchdown. P. Ryan had 43 yards and a touchdown. Boyd had 19. Mixon had 27. And Sample had 1 reception for 4 yards. Sample had quite a few targets this game. more than normal because, early on in this game, unfortunately, CJ Uzomah got injured and left on the cart, and it looked like it was going to be a very serious injury, and it still is, but there is some optimism and some hopeful, things for Uzomah because he only has a MCL sprain. It's not likely that he will play in the Super Bowl, but there's still a chance that he could play. That would be a big boost to this Bengals offense. And, this offense, like I said, played great. The only thing that really I was not impressed with was this offense was the play calling. This play calling by Zach Taylor this game, I said he needs to have one of the best games of his life coaching for us to win this game. He did not even have a good game coaching, and we still beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead down 18 points. First downs by us were atrocious. Instead of getting some momentum and taking some chances on first down, we ran a lot with Mixon. But that'll probably change this week when we take on the Rams in Super Bowl 56. I just cannot believe we are in the Super Bowl. It is so crazy. But play calling was bad, but we won. That's what matters most. But when you look at on the defense side of the ball, the first half we could not get any pressure at all on Patrick Mahomes. It was very similar to our first meeting against the Chiefs, where we came back and won that game. But when you look at this Bengals defense, we had 0 sacks in the first half. The second half, we had 4 sacks on Patrick Mahomes. We were able to cause him to have bad throws. He panic, improvise, something that he's not really great at doing. We caused him to panic and make poor decisions. This defense was phenomenal the second half. Sam Hubbard had 2 sacks. B.J. Hill had half a sack and an interception this game. He was phenomenal. We clearly won that trade of the New York Giants, trading Billy Price to get B.J. Hill. That's a robbery in itself, doing that trade. Trey Hendrickson also had 1.5 sacks as well. So when you look at this Bengals team in the second half, it was completely different. It was like a light switch for them, and they were played absolutely phenomenal. We only gave up 3 points to Kansas City Chiefs in overtime and regulation in the second half. So when you look at that standpoint, the 2 second halves the Bengals have played against the Kansas City Chiefs, we've only given up 6 points. It is insane. Patrick Mahomes had less than 60 passing yards this second half. We made him look silly out there. We made him not look himself at all. It was terrific. We played great the second half on offense and defense. The second half, really special teams as well. Evan McPherson was able to make a couple of field goals as well. Like he's, been clutch for us in this postseason, making another game-winning field goal. It is so crazy to think the Cincinnati Bengals are in the Super Bowl. It does not even seem real. I'm still trying to comprehend this. I'm still kind of in shock right now. It's hard having words that the Bengals are in the Super Bowl. And, with yesterday's NFC Championship game, the Rams against the 49ers, the Rams ended up winning that game. So it's going to be the Bengals and the Rams, Super Bowl 56. This bad part is it's going to be in the Rams' home stadium. But, it's nothing used to, we're going to be the underdog. We're not surprised that we are the underdog in this game. We've been the underdog the whole season. People keep doubting us and keep thinking that we're going to lose, keep making excuses for our very impressive victories. But, we just have to win one more game, and we are Super Bowl champions. It does not even seem real right now. The Cincinnati Bengals are playing in the Super Bowl. That is so freaking crazy and exciting to be a Bengals fan. This is the most hope and best time ever to be a Bengals fan. I still cannot believe we came back from 18 points in Arrowhead to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs. That really about does it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you all next time on the Sports Dude Hine Show.